against Clemson on Wednesday, Darius Maddox. And then the hero of this game, Hunter Couture, who originally committed to Wofford, was going to go there with Mike Young. And then Mike Young got hired at Virginia Tech, followed him to Blacksburg, and he has the biggest game of his life as he goes for 31 points on 7 of 9 from beyond the arc. Consider Duke was 4 of 20 from beyond the arc. They had a late 3 as Virginia Tech runs the table at Barclays Center in Brooklyn to win the ACC Championship. Let's get right to the site. Welcoming CBS Sports HQ college basketball analyst Matt Norlander. Matt, what the heck did you just see? Hunter Couture dropping 31 on the Duke Blue Devils.
Yeah, phenomenal performance by Couture and for Virginia Tech. You know, I understand that the bigger story is going to be as the media filters in here. I'm in the media workroom at Barclays Center, and Mike Krzyzewski and Duke will be at the podium here shortly. I understand that Duke losing, Mike Krzyzewski not getting an ACC tournament championship is going to be the primary story. I'm sorry, I got to talk about Virginia Tech. It locks up a bid. If Virginia Tech had not won this game, you could have probably made a case either way. There's no doubt now. It's going to get into the field. Mike Young, I literally had, if you want to go inside, I've had 3 coaches text me since the game ended. One coach in a power league right now says, pretty sure I've been telling you for a decade that Mike Young is the most underappreciated coach in America. That guy knows what he's doing. When I talked to Jay Wright on Friday night after Villanova advanced in the Big East semifinals, he unprompted started talking about Mike White. He goes, you know what, man, that guy is such a good coach. He said he thought Virginia Tech had a really good chance at giving Duke a good game, if not winning. That's exactly what happened. He schemed wonderfully. Yes, Duke had some foul trouble. I got to admit, though, watching this game, it felt like Duke came out and didn't have that sense of urgency that I thought it would. I thought Duke clearly would want to go into the NCAA tournament on a very upward momentum pushing good note. That was not the case whatsoever. And credit to Virginia Tech. It was ready to go, hit big shots, and never wilted. Not for a minute. It was ready to play from the jump there, Hakeem. And this is a big time statement. And I don't know if this win will, up Mike Young's appreciation level across the country, but a lot of people saw what his team was able to do and knock out Duke here in the title game. One of the bigger wins in the history, frankly, of Virginia Tech's men's basketball program. It doesn't have a lush, florid history, and now it's going to the NCAA tournament, which is not an every year thing for the Hokies.
Yeah, let's give more credit to Mike Young before we get to Mike Krzyzewski. Mike Young, a 5-time winner of the SoCon tournament, now comes to Virginia Tech, and really this is his 3rd season. They didn't get a chance to go to the NCAA tournament 2020, of course, but now back-to-back NCAA tournament berths, and this one via automatic bid, winning the ACC tournament. What makes Mike Young such a good head coach?
I can tell you what it is because I've talked about this with Mike Young literally earlier this season. He prides himself on the fact that he does not put pressure on his players. And what by that I mean, when the game gets going, he has complete faith in his guys. They trust their system. They trust what they run in practice. He just says, I want you to be free. Play free. That's really one of his mantras. One of his mottos is, I want my guys to play free. I don't want to feel like if they don't want to do something that's instinctual, that we've taught, that we've gone over, that they can't do it. I'm not going to pull them if they make a bad play. I'm not going to pull them if they make 2 bad plays. He's a very loose yet disciplined coach, and a lot of that discipline comes in what they do behind the scenes there. So because he teaches a style that is 3-point leaning, Virginia Tech is among the most enthusiastic 3-point shooting teams in all of Power Conference college basketball. And because those guys know that they have such trust and faith in their head coach and that staff, it allows them to play like this. This is not a stunning result in this regard either. Virginia Tech, dating back to the preseason, it's been an interesting team. It has ranked and rated well in a lot of predictive metrics. It's been in that 25 to 35 to 40 range for the entire season. But weirdly enough, despite ranking well in predictives, it did not have the resume to reflect how good the team was. Obviously, it has that now, not just with the win in the automatic bid, but this was almost a case of these analytic models that sometimes will rate teams highly, even though the results in terms of win-loss don't seem to match up with that. Virginia Tech's a perfect example of it. Hokies, they played up to their reputation, at least in terms of how they were seen on paper, if you will, and they come up massive. I mean, they shoot 50% against Duke. They go nuts from beyond the arc. Couture was awesome. Storm Murphy was slicing up Duke in that second half, making great plays, and it was really impressive. And one more thing about Virginia Tech, it was the way that they put Duke away here in this spot, because we've seen this over the years with Mike Krzyzewski's team, literally over the decades. You get Duke in a tight spot, 4, 5, 6 minutes to go. Normally, Coach K's teams will find a way. If they're down 6, they'll cut it to 2. They're down 7, they're going to cut it to 1. That never happened. Duke was, they were within an arm's length, and suddenly it was out of their grasp in the matter of 3 or 4 possessions. Big time stuff for the Hokies, and now for Duke, we wait and see if this loss will be one that bumps them off the 2 line, because I think we got a good 2 seed discussion that's formulating here, or will they still stay on and the committee will say, you know what, ACC regular season champions got the league title game. We felt they were a 2 seed all along, and so they might be the lowest ranked 2. We'll find out on Selection Sunday.
Mike Young wins the battle of Mikes, taking down the winningest Mike in NCAA history. Mike Krzyzewski losing in the title game, and it's Virginia Tech who wins its first ACC tournament title. Thanks to Hunter Couture, who you mentioned, a guy that was going to go to Wofford, follow Mike Young, then he goes to Blacksburg and helps them win this ACC title. Did Virginia Tech, in your mind, expose something out of Duke? Is there something that you saw that you said, I'm a little concerned here about the Blue Devils, or was this just Virginia Tech team too hot, winning 4 games in 4 days?
Very hot, and frankly, a lot of this was Virginia Tech scouting well, playing well, executing. The shots were falling. This is a little bit more big picture. Mike Krzyzewski has talked about this. I go back to when he was talking before the North Carolina game when I was down there in Durham. He has had a consistent worry about this team's defense because it is a better team defensively than it has shown over the majority of the past 2.5, 3 weeks. But this is undeniably a problem. I'm quite curious about what Mike Krzyzewski is going to be able to do. If anything, has more than 4 decades worth of coaching experience behind him. He knows over the years, once you get to this point, all the games are behind you except for the NCAA tournament. If you have a team that has certain bad tendencies or has developed bad habits late in the season, can that be corrected in the matter of, Duke's going to sit here. It's a Saturday night. The soonest it will play, we'll find out the schedule on late Sunday. The soonest it would play is Thursday. Can it flip that? It'll probably play Friday because it's going to be almost certainly in Greenville. Can you tweak what you need to be tweaked on the defensive end? Because it's got the talent, it's got the bodies, it's got the athleticism, but there's something lacking here. So I think it was a combination of both those factors. Hakeem, yes, Virginia Tech is it's a high-level offensive team. Frankly, it played one of its 3 or 4 best games of the season tonight, and that happened to coincide with Duke not having a great offensive night, running into some foul trouble, and then being a bad matchup. Mike Young is he's a high-level X&O guy. He did this at the lower level at Wofford forever, and he was given a chance at Virginia Tech just a few years ago, and this is why you hire him, because he's good enough. I'm just telling you, I'm talking to a few coaches building up to this game on Saturday. You look at Duke's roster, you look at Virginia Tech's roster, and if you're picking all right, you're going to take probably Duke's first 6 guys before you get to Virginia Tech's first guy. But Mike Young's a classic example of take his 5, beat yours, take yours, beat his. The same old deal there. Virginia Tech wins 82-67 behind Hunter Couture's 31. That was an awesome championship night kind of performance for the Hokies to get him into the dance.
Long shots to win it at plus 950. Virginia Tech wins its first ever ACC championship in school history. Matt Norlander joining us from Barclays Center where the Hokies get it done. Matt, thanks.
Thank you.
Coach K goes down. So as Mike Young wins the battle of Mikes here, falls to 15-7 in ACC tournament title games. But again, he's still the winningest coach in college basketball history. He's not defined certainly by this record. He's defined by his 5 championships, all-time wins. And now he has to sit and wait, he and the Blue Devils, to find out where they are going in the NCAA tournament.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.